Hello friends, a warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your friend truly Shoham. So I'm back with the latest discussion today on the film that has the entire nation talking, the entire nation screaming, Vishwaguru, I mean the Prime Minister of this country, and his ministers, the State Council, everyone is praising, promoting the movie left, right and center. The movie that I'm talking about, no prize for guessing, the Kashmir Files. But before I start discussing about this movie, let me make one thing very clear. I am completely against the ideological standpoint and the politics that Mr. Vivekanand Agdihotri has. But that will not stop me from critically analyzing and discussing the movie unbiasedly, what worked for me, what did not work for me and what I despise in this movie in a nutshell. So without wasting any further time, let's quickly start discussing about this movie. The merits and then the demerits which I felt would completely done away with. First and foremost, the merit. The gravitas of the story, the impact that this story has had and the inevitability that this story should have been told. Make no mistake, the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits, the exodus, the genocide, whatever you call it, the Pandits being killed in Kashmir in the entire era of 1980-1990 is a story that is a dark spot in independent India's history. This should have been told long back. And at last the story has been told, the story is in broad daylight, people are watching this movie, nothing better. The perpetrators of the violence, the people who were complicit, the people who could have stopped this from happening, their actions, right questions should be raised. But the question is the film raising the right questions? Is the film pointing the right fingers at the right person? Probably yes, probably not. We'll discuss that later. Second, the merit of the film, the performances. The performances of this film, The Kashmir Files, led by an ensemble cast of Anupam Kher, Mithun Chakrabarti, Pallavi Joshi, Darshan Kumar, they have done a good job. I will not say great job, but a good job, because in just one line, I can say that the performances in this film varies between borderline hammy and some good moments here and there. Could have been better. Third one, my third merit for the film, and should definitely, and it will be my last one, because my gripe on this film is much broader and much larger than the merits in the film. The third merit are some genuinely moving cinematic moments here and there. Yes, the film does have some genuinely moving cinematic moments. For example, when the Kashmiri Pandits finally are fleeing the valleys and they are in the truck, there are some really moving and gut-wrenching cinematic moments. Anupam Kher had some really good cinematic moments. So does Darshan Kumar interacting with the Kashmiri boatman. But again, as said and done, these moments are very few and far in between, and they can just be counted in a tonally uneven film, some rare moments of cinematic finesse, nothing more, nothing less. Now the demerits of the film, what did not work for me at all. First and foremost, the tonality of the film, the politics of the film. And I mean, the entire nation knows, the entire country knows rather, the Vivekanand Agdihotri, what his politics is. Fair enough. But having said that, a subject as polarizing, as brutal and as, divisive in nature needed a much more deft touch and sensitive handling than just black and white cardboard characterizations in this film. Yes, the film is not far from reality. The film definitely says that it does takes some paper cuttings here and there. But showing reality and just adding some realistic footage, some well shot footages here and there does not make for qualitative cinema, sir. That is just encashing, and that is plain acting as a vulture on the plight and the pain of the Kashmiri Pandits. The film does not heal. The film just incites and wants to incite and wants to titillate the audiences about the pain of the Kashmiri Pandits, and it does so successfully, make no mistake about it. But does it add to qualitative and great cinema that would stand the test of time? A big no. This film has been made clearly with some half-truth, half-portrait facts. And I mean, coming to my original point of discussion, this was actually a golden opportunity lost, because this film could have been the ultimate eye-opening. This film could have been the awakening for the plight, towards the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits who had to leave their homeland due to the militancy, due to some brutalizing that happened towards them. But what about the deft touch? Just so black and white, lame characterization. that, I mean, the entire Muslims on this film are shown as just evil marauders and monsters, and the Hindus in just plain broad stroke white people. I mean, come on, yaar. ऐसा तो नहीं होता ना. The film needed some broad stroke characterizations without just black and white. For example, watch Govind Nihal in his Tamas, Kamal Hassan's Heram, MS Sethu's Garam Hawa. These films have stood the test of time and have also been considered great piece of cinema because the way the directors have handled the film with more sensitive and matured handling without pinpointing on an entire community for the wrongdoings that happen towards the Hindus or towards the anti-community. That is the way how cinema should be. Cinema should not just be cardboard and cartoonish characterizations of hero, villain and all these things. A film as sensitive and as deep as this needed the treatment of those master filmmakers than the one Mr. Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri has used in this film. Unfortunately, I might be trolled for saying this, but I have to be honest towards the filmmaking craft. This had to be said. Secondly, I mean, what exactly is the film trying to portray? Half truth, half facts, but as one of the philosophers have said in 21st century, half truth and partial truth is even more dangerous than blatant lies. Yes, definitely. I mean, the Abdullahs, the Rajiv Gandhi, they are no saints. But what happened in 1980 and 90? Who was in the power? Kashmir was being ruled by Mr. Jagmohan, the governor. Kashmir was under presidential rule. And who was Mr. Jagmohan? Mr. Jagmohan was an RSS guy who was sent by the then VP Singh government, who was at the center, to manage Kashmir, the internal affairs. And there's the catch. VP Singh government was supported by Mr. Lal Krishna Advani and Mr. Vajpayee led then Bharatiya Janata Party in the 1980 and 1990. Does the film show this truth? Not at all. The film entirely puts the blame on the Abdullahs, Rajiv Gandhis and others. As I said, they were no saints. But is it not imperative that the film should pinpoint the blame on Mr. Jagmohan, the then government actively led by supported by the Bharatiya Janata Party? It should have done. But does the film do that? That's anybody's guess. Apna nijera dekhe nin. Watch the film to understand what I am trying to say. Again, a major markdown for the film, a major drawback for the film. Third one, among the many, but definitely not the least one, rampant, rapid Islamophobia. Again, Vivek Agnihotri's politics, Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri's standpoint on issues thanks to Twitter is known to the entire nation. But again, why are you letting your politics, sir, be so heavy-handed towards the entire film? If this is not rampant Islamophobia, then what is? Look at the reaction of the people in cinema halls. There are people who are giving war cry to exterminate Muslims. There are people who are screaming to boycott the movies of the Khans because they are perceived as anti-national. At this point in time, post 2014, where India is going through, if this is not irresponsible filmmaking, then what is? Again, I am telling, I am all for Kashmiri Pandits' right to justice. But not at this cost. Even the Kashmiri Pandits in the interviews have completely disapproved of what the film has shown. Eta ki theek hocche? Is it happening right? I'm not falsifying facts. It's already out in the public domain. The reaction of the public in what exactly is happening post the film being watched upon. And why do you think that Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi and his bunch of ministers, state of the states being ruled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, are hailing this film as a next masterpiece? Mr. Paresh Rawal, one of the great actors but also a known BJP sympathizer and active BJP member, telling that if no Indian likes this movie, then he or she shall have the right, lose the right to live in this country. I mean, kya mazak hai yaar? This is a bloody joke going on. So please think, apply your thought. This is post 2014 Naya Bharat, where majoritarianism is ruling the day and night of this country. So at that point in time, if you are blaming an entire community, if you are showing an entire community in such pathetic, pillable light, then this is, if not this irresponsible filmmaking, then what is? And forget the bias towards Jawaharlal Nehru University, the way Hum Dekhenge has been used, the way Pallavi Jochi's character is being interpreted. I mean, that's for separate discussion altogether. I mean, barring that on the technical aspects, so many narrative inconsistencies, so many jarring ups and downs, the editing in the film, that is always there. I'll not even go into that, but please. But again, do I want the film to be banned? A big no. Please go and watch the film, but as they say, chokkan khola rakhben. Please keep your eyes and ears open. If something false is being shown in front of you, don't accept this left, right and center, because the Honorable Prime Minister and your public representatives, the politicians and dividers in chief have gone and propagated this. No. Search for the truth, search for facts, they are out in the open. You just need to be unbiased and look for what exactly happened then and compare it to what exactly is happening now, post the film has been decided to be a blockbuster. Please do so. And what is more laughable? The same politicians who had banned movies like Parzania and Firak at their own backyard, the same politicians who had beaten up Sanjay Leela Bhansali and Prakash Jha and accused them of targeting Hinduism, are now propagating a freedom of expression. I mean, हम जाए तो जाए कहाँ? हम करे तो करे क्या? What should I say? But again, as I said, that's my take on this movie. Not necessarily that you have to agree to that. If you like this video, please share, like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel Truly Showham, and let us know in the comment section what do you think of this movie. Is it a good movie? Is it not? Is it jingoistic? Is it the truth? What exactly is it? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel Truly Showham. More when we meet. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. We shall meet again very soon. Thank you so much.